Hello and welcome to this week's Ruby Shoes podcast, delivering the very best local entertainment news across East Anglia each and every week. So this week on the Ruby Shoes podcast, we've been catching up with two cast members, Dougie and Joseph, from the Common Ground Theatre Company, and we hear from another Panto Star, plus, as always, a roundup of some of the region's top shows coming your way soon, which you won't want to miss. Now, before we hear from a TikTok sensation with 1.5 million followers who will be performing in Panto in Suffolk this Christmas, let's first hear how I got on chatting to Dougie and Joe, who were two of the cast members of a brand new alternative to Panto, Father Brown and the Curse of the Christmas Fairy. The Suffolk-based music theatre touring company, Common Ground Theatre Company, bring you this Christmas Father Brown and the Curse of the Christmas Fairy. And it's going to be travelling around Suffolk near you very, very soon. Joined now by Dougie and Joseph, who are going to tell me more about it. Welcome to the Ruby Shoes podcast, both of you.
Hello.
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 So tell me, first of all, what is Father Brown and the Curse of the Christmas Fairy all about? What's the kind of the crux of the story?
Dougie, you start. Crux of the story is it's a mad family Christmas caper, a sort of whodunit with drama, with intrigue, with silly jokes and fun songs.
Sounds perfect. And tell me about your characters, look.
You go first with this one.
So I play Johnny Knuckles Malloy, who's a convict who I suppose has been born again and wants to redeem himself and be helpful towards the community. I also play some penguins, an owl, and
a few other characters. And then I play Crispin. Who's quite a posh, ineffectual boy. I play an owl as well.
Good casting.
Okay. I play a penguin as well. I play an owl as well. That's maybe slightly more exciting owl.
Yeah.
With more backstory. Yeah. I think I've done more work on that. A zookeeper. I play your partner in crime. I play Vince
Bigelow.
Vince Bigelow. And loads of characters. I'm not going to spoil them.
No, there's a lot of multi-rolling and silly little cameos that come in.
Big, not little. Powerful, moving cameos.
I'm just looking forward to the whole penguin thing. I can't imagine how penguins come into this, but it sounds good. I mean, who doesn't want a penguin at Christmas?
Exactly.
Have you performed in Suffolk before? Are you from Suffolk, or did you audition and just, is that your first time you're coming here?
I did a radio thing here years and years ago, and don't ask me the name, I can't remember. But no, so it's my second time ever in Ipswich, ever.
It's my first time, but I've heard, thank you. I've heard very good things from a lot of different people that I've worked with about the theatre community in Ipswich.
Yeah, well, welcome to Suffolk. It's good to have you here. Just for our listeners, I'll kind of give them a little bit of a backstory here. So, and then we'll talk about the actual tour itself, because it all starts from December the 11th and running through till January the 19th. So plenty of time to see this midwinter madness that all happens in the Suffolk village of Danglefoot. So the Suffolk village is hanging by a thread. As Christmas approaches, its veneer of civility is cracking like last year's Yule log. A series of poison pen letters signed the Christmas Fairy threatened to expose corruption at the heart of village life. So it just sounds so much fun. What I love about the whole ethos of what you're actually doing here with the Common Ground Theatre Company is the fact that you're bringing theatre to people. So you're literally taking theatre to those villages who don't have their own theatre. So that's brilliant. It's literally going to be on their doorstep. So do you get a chance to see these theatres, or do you just rock up at the back of the village hall, set up in the dark, play, and then disappear off again?
We do, I think. I'm hoping every place we go to will be able to have time before and time after to sort of engage a bit, see what's going on, have a look at Christmas lights, all that kind of thing, have a pint.
Yeah, and I know that another actor who's in this play performed with the theatre company a few years ago. He said that the best experience was going to these little village halls because he said that they don't get theatre as much. And he said being able to put a show on there and being really close and intimate with the audience, it's just such a lovely experience to be able to share something with them that they don't get to see all the time.
And there's quite a few lines that reference the local pub that we need to change. So I think we need to visit every pub to make sure we understand the line.
Which will be hard for us, but we'll do it.
A challenge to have a pint in every pub. So we'll manage. It's a hard life.
It's a terrible life, but someone has to do it, and well done for you volunteering for that as well. No, it all starts off at Harkston Village Hall, and that's Wednesday the 11th of December. You're coming to places like the Seckford Theatre at Woodbridge, Hadley Old School, then you're in the John Peel Centre, great place there in Stowmarket, through to Walton St Mary's Hall and Aldborough Jubilee Hall, which is again a fabulous, fabulous building. Then you go across to Laxfield Village Hall, Great Hockham Village Hall, Headgate Theatre in Colchester, so going across the border into Essex and then across the border into Discorn Hall, and then the Gallery Studio Theatre in Ipswich, so you're back in Suffolk then. Oh, and then you disappear off to Ongar. Now, I know that's quite a special one. This is the very end of the tour. It's the Zinc Arts Theatre at Chipping Ongar, and that's all in aid of the Essex and Herts Air Ambulance, which I think is a very... is a cause that's very close to the heart of the organisers of this particular theatre company, isn't it? So lots of opportunities to see you. How are the rehearsals going?
It's a joyous mess. It's great fun. It is good. I mean, because of all the characters, we're just running around off stage, putting on different hats and wings and penguin outfits and beaks and everything.
Yeah, no, it's good. Rehearsals are always the most fun.
Second most fun.
Sorry,
after watching.
Yeah, it's slowly coming together, which is good. Got to kind of embrace the madness.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, it'll be all right on the night. You can get tickets by going to Common Ground TC, which is theatre company course, commongroundtc.co.uk, and say from December the 11th through to January the 19th. You don't want to miss Father Brown facing a snowball of terror. I mean, if that's not enough of a cliffhanger for you, I don't know what is. Good luck to both of you, and thank you so much for joining us for the Ruby Shoes podcast. We'll look forward to catching up with you at some point on your tour.
Thanks so much for having us. Thank you.
Now, I caught up with one of the stars of Panto this Christmas, who's in Ipswich for the very first time. That's Abby Budden. She's massive on TikTok with 1.5 million followers. And we're lucky enough to have her right here in Suffolk when she plays Jill in Jack and the Beanstalk. I spoke to Abby when she first arrived at the stage door of the Ipswich Regent. So here backstage, you can probably just about hear the rest of the cast, all very excited here at the Regent Theatre. I'm with Abby Budden. Abby, huge TikTok sensation, of course. I mean, everybody knows you with 1.5 million followers. Welcome to the Ipswich Regent. Is this your first time in Ipswich?
It is, yeah, never been before, so I'm really excited to get to spend my Christmas here.
Oh, that will be wonderful. We're excited to have you here. So where is home? Where have you come from?
So home for me is in Horsham, in West Sussex, so not too far.
No.
So we'll be home for Christmas.
Just round the M25.
Yeah,
back,
exactly.
Excellent. 4 years on TikTok, as I say, built up an amazing follower. Tell me how it started for you. How did you go on to TikTok to start with?
Well, it all started in lockdown. Obviously, all the theatres shut, and basically everything that I was doing in order to get that creative outlet all had to stop. So I was really looking for something to keep going with my passion. Stumbled across TikTok, started posting videos just for something to do. It was really out of boredom at the beginning of lockdown, and then it just completely boomed out of there, and I found this whole new career and passion that really formed out of just wanting to start a new hobby, which was lovely.
And your skits are brilliant. They're absolutely fantastic. Where do you get the inspiration from? Does it just pop into your mind?
Yeah, well, a lot of it comes from daily life. It's very observational. I mean, at the time when I started, I was still in college, so a lot of it was observing things that were happening happening around me at college. But yeah, it's very much on my day-to-day life. I spot things, I spot conversations, I overhear things, and I think, oh, that's a character for a video. So yeah, it's very observational, very true to my life.
I like the ones where you're pretending to be the mum, basically.
Yeah.
Who's trying to be cool but really not achieving it, because I think actually that's probably me. So it's quite self-reflective, really, but very, very funny. So well done on that. And advice for would-be TikTokers: how often should you post?
It's one of those things where you have to be authentic to you. So I can tell you the formula for getting followers, and you must post this many times, but you have to do it because you love it. You have to post when you have the ideas. You know, you can't just post out of nowhere. You have to have the inspiration. But when I started, I was posting every single day. So I was churning out content really quite frequently. And of course, that's great for engagement. But I mean, the main thing is you have to do it because you're passionate about it.
Yeah, and that really comes across in your videos. They're very, very funny. You've also, as you say, you wanted that creative outlet because you are an actor.
Yeah.
You've done serious acting as well, Cruel Intentions and Carrie. Tell me about those and how you've gone from that to being here with us at the Ipswich region.
Yeah, well, Cruel Intentions was my professional debut this year. It was the most fantastic opportunity. It was a 6-month run at the Other Palace in London. It was a real whirlwind, but I learned so much, and I met some just really amazing people that I think I'll hold with me for life. And that was, I think, the best start to the industry that I could have had. From going from having a full-time career on TikTok to then being whisked onto the stage in London, it really was an absolute whirlwind. But it taught me a lot, and I feel like it's really gotten me to a great place now where I feel more settled. I feel like I just have more faith in myself now, I think. Now I know that I can do it. So I definitely feel a lot calmer going into new jobs like Panto.
Like Panto. Well, you definitely look the part. You're standing in front of us.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, very vibrant dress with lots of different colours on it there. So you're going to be fantastic as Jill this year in Jack and the Beanstalk. You've also done some presenting, haven't you? You've been on the What's on Stage Awards,
yes.
And you've also performed at Music Con on stage.
Yeah.
That must have been really exciting.
Oh, it was, I mean, they are just absolute crazy events. I mean, there are so many people there. There's so much buzz, so much going on. Yeah, that was a real new thing for me this year, presenting the red carpet, the What's on Stage Awards. It was a fantastic opportunity, and also to feel like I can get to connect with other actors as well. It was really lovely to interview fellow people in the industry and get to talk to them about what work they're doing and what advice they have. So yeah, it was nice to really feel like I had my foot in the musical theatre world. It was a really, really lovely feeling.
Definitely. And also it's going to hold you in good stead. The Regent Theatre is a big theatre. You're going to have big crowds,
yeah.
Lots of shouting, lots of children going to really enjoy seeing you on stage. So that's going to put you in great stead for that. All of this, Abby, you're still only 21, I believe.
Yes, I am.
Well done. What is the game plan for you? What would you like to do going forward?
I mean, musical theatre and acting has always been the goal from day dot. As soon as I was in a ballet class age 3, I think my parents knew that performing was the route for me. But I think there's so much out there that I haven't discovered. I mean, for example, I didn't even know that social media was going to become a thing for me until 4 years ago. So I think there are so many other avenues that I don't even know are possible yet. So as much as I'd like to say, yes, I'd like to do this, I'd love to have a career in maybe presenting or television. I think there's just so much actually that will happen kind of by accident. And I actually really like that way of things coming about. It's unpredictable and
organic.
Yes, yeah.
You're very naturally confident in a really lovely way. Is that something that you've had to learn, or is that something you've always had, do you think, going forward?
Absolutely, it's definitely something you have to learn. And it's interesting because actually in my private life, I can be quite a nervous, quite quiet person. So it definitely is a skill that just gets better with time. But I know that old saying, fake it till you make it. But you start faking it until actually it just becomes natural. I think I'm at a really lovely point now where I feel really confident in myself. I know myself really well. So I'm happy for other people to know me as well.
Yeah. And you're also going to be able to stand head and shoulders with
with these other fantastic actors who are
brilliant
here
cast.
today at the Regent. It's going to be good. How excited are you to be performing Panto alongside them here at the Regent?
I can't wait. I mean, it is an absolutely fantastic cast. I think it's going to be a real laugh this year. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. But it's lovely. It's lovely to get to meet new people, perform with new people on stage. But yeah, no, very excited.
Yeah. And then final question for you. How are you going to be spending Christmas? You literally get Christmas Day off because you've now signed up for Panto.
Yeah.
What's Christmas Day going to look like for
I'm
you?
going to spend it with my family. I think it's going to be a nice quiet day. Probably watch the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special. I'm very excited for that. Eat some good food. But I think, it's a nice chilled out time. And just to catch up with my parents again, actually, because it's going to be a whirlwind month and I don't think they're going to see me that much at all. So yeah, some quality time needed.
Next week, we'll hear from another Panto star and we'll have a review, which I promised you, of Aladdin, which is now running at the Theatre Royal in Bury St Edmunds. In the meantime, here are some more great shows you just might want to check out.
What's on across Suffolk with Stephanie McIntyre. Sponsored by Ruby Shoes Podcast, your weekly entertainment news podcast. Available from your smart speaker, Apple, Spotify, or you just follow Ruby Shoes Podcast on Facebook and click on the weekly podcast link to listen.
There's a host of great shows on offer across Suffolk's magnificent theatres, and here's just a selection to tempt you. Tuesday the 10th of December from 7:30pm at the Ipswich Regent Theatre. Following an incredible nationwide tour last year, the #1 multi-platinum selling vocal harmony group is bringing back the good times this winter, and it's your official start to Christmas. Consisting of Mark Frank, Darren Everest, Jay James and Mike Crawshaw, this four-piece group is best known for their exquisite vocals, flawless harmonies and their synchronised dance moves. The tour promises to be a non-stop party from start to finish, featuring songs for the whole family. From original hits like Gambling Man through to classic songs by artists such as The Drifters, Stevie Wonder, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and many more, plus some festive favourites and some brand new tracks. For tickets, go to ipswichtheatres.co.uk. You're invited by the Theatre Royal in Bury St Edmunds to the Grand Abanazar Hotel, the finest hotel in all of Arabia. Join Aladdin and his friends this Christmas as they try to defeat the hotelier from hell. Go to theatreroyal.org for more details, with performances running through till Sunday the 12th of January. Friday the 13th of December at the Spa Pavilion Theatre in Felixstowe, Fast Love is direct from London's West End. This is the world's favourite George Michael celebration, they say. With a brand new show from 2024, make new memories whilst reliving old classics. This one is for the fans as we celebrate one of the greatest musicians the world has ever seen, and we say thank you. The show has it all, the power, the emotion, the star quality in this stunning production, with full video and light show as they respectfully recreate the soundtracks, playing all the hits from Wham right through his glittering career, including Wake Me Up, Too Funky, Father Figure, Freedom, Faith, Knew You Were Waiting, Careless Whisper and so many more. Go to spapavilion.uk for your tickets. Friday the 13th of December is the opening night of Red Rose Chain Theatre Company's Pinocchio at the Avenue Theatre in Ipswich. Written by Carlo Collodi, adapted by Joanna Carrick, when Geppetto, a poor carpenter, finds a piece of wood that can talk, he carves it into a puppet and he's overjoyed when it miraculously comes alive. The next morning, Pinocchio the puppet sets off to school, but is easily led astray by temptation, selling his ABC book to buy a ticket to a puppet show. In a madcap chain of disasters, he meets a host of extraordinary characters, including a talking cricket, a blue fairy and a giant shark. He learns to dance and to sing, but will he ever learn the qualities it takes to make him into a real boy? To find out, book your tickets on redrosechain.com. The New Wolsey Theatre has Sleeping Beauty as its rock and roll panto this year. To book your tickets, go to wolseytheatre.co.uk. Performances are now on until Saturday the 18th of January. Santa's Christmas Cracker comes to Leiston Film Theatre on Saturday the 14th of December from 11 a.m. Let them take you to the North Pole to meet Santa. Join the adventures of Dottie, Pom Pom and Dasher the reindeer in this festive, interactive and song-filled visit to Santa's home. After the show, each child can meet Father Christmas and receive a specially wrapped present from the big man himself. For tickets, go to leistonfilmtheatre.co.uk. And finally, Sunday the 12th of December from 7:30pm at the Marina Theatre in Lowestoft, it's your chance to see Simon and Garfunkel's Story. Following sold-out performances in London's West End and a worldwide tour, the Simon and Garfunkel Story continues to stun audiences across the globe, making it a must-see sensation. Using huge projection photographs and original film footage, the international hit show also features a full live band performing all the hits, including Mrs. Robinson, Cecilia, Bridge Over Troubled Water, Homeward Bound, and many more. Click on marinatheatre.co.uk to find out more. Remember, you can always listen again to any of the Ruby Shoes podcasts via Apple or Spotify, or just simply by clicking on the podcast links on our Facebook page, and follow us there too for all the latest entertainment news. I'm Steph McIntyre. Thanks for listening. We'll chat more about live theatre and all kinds of entertainment next week. In the meantime, check out our socials at Ruby Shoes Podcast. We're on Twitter or X, Facebook and Instagram, and we do a bit of TikTok now too. We'd love you to follow us and have a great week.